Yo, 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 yo! Welcome back, everybody. We are here live for the 8th race of the Endgame Racing F4 Championship, sponsored by Endgame Coffee. And today we're at Watkins, Glen. Why is that up? There we go, boom. We're at Watkins, Glen in the state of New York. And as we're wrapping up practice, everyone's getting their final laps in. And the weather today looks pretty great. 7% chance of rain, so I highly doubt we're going to get anything. Which will actually be great, because this track's going to be mayhem, I think. I think it's going to be a fun race. So, I always show the track map before. Here it is. Watkins Glen Classic with the boot. No chicane after turn 4 down that straight, as you see. And pretty much, it's almost like an oval track, according to some people. Obviously, the boot helps with that, but turns 1 through 5 are just absolutely flat out for that entire section. Then you're going to do a small lift into, or at the exit of turn 5, go into turn 6. Here's where you're going to be doing some braking. And then after that whole section up until turn 9, basically flat out again. Alright, qualifying already started, so let's get to it. Who do we got? Who do we got? So Jeremy Smith, P4 in last week's first heat race at Alton International, right before it started raining, at a killer drive. Of course, it doesn't tell me where they are. It's just great. Ah, there it is. Alright, I had to hit the initials button. Alright, so here it comes, coming to the final turn to start his first lap. So, barreling down to turn 1. This is probably the hardest braking zone of the lap. Run wide on the left here, but you can't go too wide, otherwise you get a 1X, and you might have gotten one there. You can keep your right tires on the curbing, but I believe they have to be on the right side of it. I don't remember. But anyway, flat out, all the way down this straight. You're going to be hitting about 145 miles per hour by the end of it, right before you're starting to brake. So the chicane would be about right here where that guy is standing on the right. That's when you want to start braking, but we're skipping that. So down into the carousel of turn 5, going into the chute, into the boot. So again, a little elevation change as you go downhill. You're going to go out a little bit wide on the right, but not too wide, because you're going to have to move back over to the left for the right-hander of toe. Uphill elevation, so you're able to brake a little bit later. Small runoff on the left. They give you that little extra pavement for good measure. Now coming down to the heel of the boot. Turn 8. Now that runoff to the left, you can go pretty wide there without getting it off track. And now you see Jeremy Smith going back onto the main part of the racetrack. You can see the cones where they're not going. Down into turn 10, small lift if anything. And the final turn in. Back onto the straight. So Jeremy Smith with the 148.3. Charlie Pullier, late joining. I don't think he was in practice though. The 146.522. Actually, Jordan Wheatman is right behind him as well. Let's check him out. That is not the ideal racing line. Let's watch that back quick from behind the car. So I think he had the car turned. Maybe just got on the throttle too early. I'm not too sure on it. But he did set a great first lap anyway, so if I were him, I wouldn't be too concerned. So Charlie improved by 0.2 up to 46.381 now. Here comes some times coming in. David Courtwright moving up to P6 so far with the 147.9. So second lap, way better than the first. Here's Ryan Winfeld's second lap, I believe, so close to the wall there. He's actually a couple tenths slower than his fast lap. 146.9 as opposed to 146.6. So no improvement from Ryan. There's James Husky. Setting a 147.1. His first lap, I'm assuming. moves up with a 146.7. This is actually a tight field for the first, actually for a lot of people. Eric Hives, Kyle McBride. Kyle is .001 behind Eric Hives. Also, shout out to James Husky, who's the only one on the grid who has a picture next to his name. I think everyone else needs to follow suit because that's awesome. I think he is anyway. Oh yeah, no one has it. All right, that's not the right button. Here's the right button. So, pole position, Charlie Pollier, followed by number 2, Jordan Wheatman, and number 3, Ryan Winfeld. All very close to each other in qualifying. Looks like 3.5 tenths between them. No, sorry, 3 tenths between them. And I missed it, but I see Mike Ballion set a great second lap to go up to P5. All right, we're racing for heat number 1. It looks like Charlie got a slower start. Jordan Wheatman's ahead of him on the outside line going into turn 1. Actually dominates him. Ryan might even have a run on him as well. It's like going 3 wide into the straightaway. Oh my goodness, Ryan Winfeld is ahead right now, followed by Jordan Wheatman and Charlie Pollier. But Charlie and looks like James Husky are going to have a run on the now inside line. See what happens as they make their way into turn number 5. So Mike is just on the inside of Kyle McBride. Mike Ballion, that is, excuse me. Wide on the exit there. So Ryan's taken off a little bit while Charlie Pollier and Jordan Wheatman behind are fighting. So Ryan Winfeld needs to just take advantage of the fight going on behind him and focus on the clean air drive. He's already over a second ahead. Someone I think just entered the pits. David Courtwright entered the pits. Not sure if he has a black flag. I didn't see any spins or anything. There they go at it again. So they're going 3 wide down the straight. Looks like James Husky. Nope. Yep, James Husky's ahead, followed by Jordan Wheatman and Charlie Pollier. But who's going to have the run into turn 5? It's still James. So here's Eric Hives and I believe Ryan Springer. Stuff happening up front again. I can't keep up. So they're going 3 wide. This is going down into the heel of turn 8, going up until turn 9. So Kyle McBride actually squeezed his way through. He's up to third. Charlie Pulley and Mike Valiant are still battling it out. Looks like there might have been an incident, which is how everything kind of shifted around. I'll go back to that in a second. But Mike's going to take the defensive line here. Charlie holds it on the outside. Now here comes the run again. Looks like Mike might get a little screwed here on the outside. Oh, never mind. Charlie moved back in front of him. Now he's got a little bit of draft. Oh, there he goes. Unfortunately, no one in front of Mike Valiant, so he has no one to draft off of. Maybe Kyle up there in the silver car up ahead. Now they're going 4 wide, 3 wide down the straight almost. Wow. So Michael Hawkins actually up 4 positions. 3 now. Ooh, as he had a little moment. This is just like a DRS train in Formula One. So if you keep an eye on Ryan Winfield, Jordan Wheatman in the top left, Jordan has been slowly gaining on Ryan Winfield. Oh, what a save by James Husky. Car got a little bit sideways. He said, I don't care, I'm still going. Looks like James Husky got around Charlie Pulley at the inside of turn 1. Charlie took the outside line, so I don't know if that'll give him an advantage for a better run down the main straight overall. I just want to jump here as well. So here's Jordan Wheatman and Ryan Winfield. Down the long straight, side by side. Looks like Jordan is now ahead barely, but Ryan's got that inside line. So yeah, Ryan's able to take it, no problem. Let's jump back to this squad over here. As I myself cannot keep up. Ooh! Someone went a little wide there. Who is that? I think that's James Husky. Yep, hitting the wall, but he's still going. Maybe a very light hit. It looked worse on camera. Charlie going a bit wide, but I believe there's no X out there. It's part of the racing line. Jeremy Smith passing Eric Hives, it looks like. Missed it. Let's watch that back real quick. Ooh, looks like Eric had a small incident, avoidance that he had to do, giving Jeremy the spot. So now we're back into the mayhem. Oh my goodness. 6 cars all next to each other. This time Mike Valiant out in front. I didn't think, well, I knew it would be pretty big, but I didn't think that the draft would be this extreme. This is helping out every single driver. If you're in front, you better watch out because they're going to catch you in that long straight. The other thing I wanted to show was the gap between this group and now the leaders is somewhere around 7 seconds total. So let's see. So you can see Ryan Winfeld. Oh no! It's James Husky going over somebody. Looks like Boston Els and Ryan Springer all having an issue there. Oh my goodness, let's see what happened. So here's Boston Els. So not related to the incident. Just spun it coming over there. And we have James coming. Oh, it just tags the back of, I think that's Ryan Springer. So his point of view. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Looks like James might not have been able to slow the car down. Oh my god, who was that? Jeremy Smith, I think. Yep, so he slows down, takes the inside, but that's really unfortunate. Looks like Ryan couldn't get the car stopped in time for Jeremy Smith. Sent him right into the wall. So, as I was saying, the gap between 1 and 2 is pretty large going into position 3 of Kyle McBride. And then behind him, there's almost a 5-second gap between so Mike Ballion. So Mike Ballion's still in the thick of it with Charlie Pullier and now Michael Hawkins. All able to avoid the incident that was going into turn 9. Also, I think they're all on the last lap. Doesn't tell me, of course. It's like the one thing I want to be told is when the race is over and when they're on the final lap. So there's the checkered flag. Heat number 1 won by Ryan Winfeld, P2 Jordan Wheatman, and P3 Kyle McBride. They're able to get away from everyone else. So Mike Ballion, you can hear the crashing behind me. So Mike Ballion, P4, absolutely sends Charlie. So James was able to continue on, James Husky, excuse me, ends up in P8. Austin Els, P9, David Courtwright coming into the boot, going toward, what turn is that? That is turn 8, the heel. So David Courtwright finishes in P10, followed by Jeremy Smith, P11. Ryan Springer coming along at P12. Before it takes it away, during that entire pack, something happened where a bunch of people were able to get by. So here's James Husky. Oh, okay. So unfortunately, it just jumped me, but you could see right there, James kind of went a little bit wide, held it on the left, slowed down because he was in the grass, and Charlie Pullier came right up behind him, didn't really have anywhere to accelerate past him, so he had to hit the brakes. And Mike Ballion was right behind him, and he was able to get around. So just a bit of a hold up between everybody right there. All right. So, reverse grid, so Mike Ballion starting on pole for Heat 2, followed by Kyle McBride and Jordan Wheatman for P3. So Ryan Winfeld won Heat 1, Heat starting P4. All right, Heat number 2 is off. It looks like Mike Ballion got a decent start. But maybe not, as Jordan Wheatman was able to sneak by him. Oh, he is very slow. Wonder what happened there. So now Ryan Winfelt got a heck of a start, as well as Jordan Wheatman. So now they're going to be fighting down into turns 4 and 5. Ryan Springer getting by Jeremy Smith. Meanwhile, everyone up front is still battling. Jordan Wheatman takes the inside line. However, Ryan Winfelt took the outside line, carried a bit more speed around the carousel, was able to stay ahead of him. Meanwhile, Charlie Pollier is coming out on the outside into turn 7. Same strategy for Ryan Winfeld in heat number 2. Clean air in front of him. He's going to try his damn hardest to make the gap between him and P2, who's currently Kyle McBride. So that's going to be tough, because Kyle is very consistent. It's like Austin L's losing time in the back. Something might have happened to him. Can't look away from this at the moment, though. That's Mike Ballion in the pit lane. I wonder if he had a black flag for something. So here's Eric Hives and Michael Hawkins. Which Michael Hawkins just passed Eric Hives, now up the inside. 4. See if we can get everybody in one shot. So there's the crew up front. So Charlie Pollier got ahead of Ryan for a second. Ooh. Oh man, netcode gods were good there. That could have been deadly. Looks like his tires were inside the other car. Michael Hawkins stays ahead of Eric Hives. Eric Hives running a little bit wide. Not sure if he touched David, but David had a bit of a wiggle there. David Courtright. Car looks fine from here. There's Jeremy Smith on Eric Hives. Right, so Austin L's, I wanted to go back. We have a second. So he just went a little too deep going into turn number 8, the heel of the boot, but able to keep going. No crashes or anything. So here's another draft train going down toward turn 1. Someone just entered the pits. I believe that's Eric Hives. Yes, it is. Ryan Springer and Michael Hawkins still at it. Looks like they were passing each other down the straight a little bit. But Ryan Springer has the inside line, takes the position from Michael Hawkins at the moment until you hit turn 7 here. So they're just swapping back and forth. While up front, I see that Charlie Pollier was going for Ryan Winfeld. Let's see if he holds it. And he does. For for now. I feel like every sentence I say I'm going to have to say for now because once you get to the straights and the draft kicks in, I really truly do not know who's going to be ahead of who. Looks like a couple more incidents here. But we'll look back in a second as Kyle McBride goes up the inside. They touch. Kyle McBride, Ryan Winfeld, and I think Charlie just ran wide there. Look back at that in a second. Ryan Springer and Michael Hawkins still at it that entire last lap and then some. So here's Michael Hawkins going down on the inside of turn 8. He holds it ahead for now. Right, we have a minute. Let's go back to some incidents. So here's David Courtwright. Last lap, this looks like going into turn 1, just puts a tire in the grass and slips. And we have Jeremy Smith to turn 9. Looks like overturns the car, doesn't hit the wall. He's able to continue. We have Eric Ives going down into the toe of turn 7. It's a little too much speed. Oof, that's a hard hit, unfortunate. Here's the incident between the leaders. Oh, Ryan went a little sideways, it looked like. I'm gonna watch that back. So Kyle on the inside turns. It looks like Ryan barely loses the car to the right. Kind of forces his car into Kyle's, who's just trying to make his normal turn. So if I were a steward, Ryan's going to prison. Right. So, Ryan Springer now, still fighting Michael Hawkins, as we were previously looking. But now Jordan Wheatman is leading by 2/10 on Kyle McBride, who's gaining on him. Probably down a straight, and it looks like it. Oh! Commentator's curse strikes again. That was Jordan Wheatman. It looked like he spun on him by himself on the brakes because I don't think Kyle McBride was near him. Ooh, alright, he did get hit. Not sure on that one. Can't see telemetry, so I will assume it's flip a coin, Jordan's fault. Race ban. Right. So now we have Jordan Wheatman again on Kyle McBride. Kyle lets him go, it looked like. Slowed down early. Of course, Michael Hawkins and Ryan Springer. Definitely going to have to keep my eye on this one. They've been at it for 4 laps so far. Just swapping positions. Sorry about that, folks. Had to step away for a minute. Anyway, as we saw, Ryan Springer and Michael Hawkins still at it again. Kyle McBride has caught up to Charlie Pullier. Jordan Wheatman is now leading this race. We need a heart rate monitor on some of these people. So I would love to know the heart rate of Ryan Springer and Michael Hawkins as they're constantly battling every single lap, the entire lap. Here's Mike Bally and Jeremy Smith for P7. Caught that happening for once. Let's see, white flag lap, final lap, and Ryan Springer is ahead of Michael Hawkins by 0.3. We'll see what happens down the end of this straight. Assuming he's going to catch up. I usually time what the draft is for each track, but I did not do that here. So let's find out what it's going to look like. David Courtright dropping. He is out. Let's see what happens there. So Michael Hawkins, oh yeah, that's an easy gain. 0.3 right there. Still on the outside though, so still trying to get a tough pass. Oh, and he does the cutback. Just not enough. Looks like he's going to try to send it up the inside. Now whoever's behind here needs to try to utilize that draft to get by at the right moment. I think the only opportunity they're going to have is going up to this next turn, turn 8. Unfortunately, Michael Hawkins dropped a little bit behind. He's now a half a second back. Here is the current race leader, Jordan Wheatman, making his way around turn number 10 to turn number 10 for the final 2 turns. All right, there's the checkered flag. So heat number 2 won by Jordan Wheatman. Fantastic drive. Started P number 3, now up to P1. Followed by Kyle McBride, P2, and Charlie Pullier, P3. And Ryan Springer holds out on Michael Hawkins for P4. Excellent drive between both of them. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, 2-minute warm-up before heat number 3. So here are the results for heat number 2, the full results. All right, reverse grid again. So, pole position, James Husky, followed by number 2, Jeremy Smith, number 3, Mike Ballion. And of course, we have Michael Hawkins and Ryan Springer right next to each other. So hopefully we'll see the same exact battle because that was absolutely fantastic racing by both of them. All right, on our way for heat number 3. Looks like everyone got a good start. No one has passed anybody yet. Oh, Mike Ballion passing Jeremy Smith for P2. Going up the inside there. Charlie Pullier made a couple passes. Talk all day, but everything's going to change in a second. So if you look on the top left, you'll see all the passes happening as they happen. That's Kyle McBride going up the inside of Ryan Springer. Ryan appears to hold it on the outside, but now has the inside advantage. I think Kyle still gets around him barely. Yep, makes the pass. Kyle McBride and Jordan Wheatman. Kyle's got the inside line for this. Jordan goes pretty wide. Now it's a draft game. Who has the advantage of someone in front of them? It looks like they both have someone. Kyle has 2 people in front, so he might get a better draft on the straight. But it's kind of hard to tell. Smith ahead of Michael Hawkins and Ryan Springer. Oh, spins around a little bit. Luckily out of the way. Again, doesn't hit the wall. So he's going to be able to still keep going there. There's Jordan Wheatman. Looks like he just had a quick moment. James Husky was leading and he dropped back. I don't see any issues from him. Logs here. Oh my god. What is happening back here? Oh, we got some replays to watch. First, just want to mention Mike Ballion is leading, followed by Charlie Pullier and Ryan Winfeld. Ryan is up 7 positions to P3. Charlie is up 4, and Mike, I believe, started lower, right? He started P4 or something. He started P3, so he's up 2 positions. Charlie gets around Mike Ballion for P1 for now. I see a lot of people entering the pit lane. Kyle McBride, Ryan Springer. Assuming they were all in the crash. Now might be a good time to look real quick. So here's Ryan Springer going around turn 9. So he just spins, Kyle gets into him a little bit and somehow drives over his car. I have no idea. So Kyle sees it, hits on the brakes, but just nowhere to go. It's unfortunate. So here are the leaders again. Mike Ballion getting pushed wide by Ryan Winfeld. Absolute devastation. Give Ryan Winfeld a penalty. Here comes James Husky in the mix, getting in there. Dropped back a few places earlier. Now he is on the charge, absolutely going to dominate his way back to that P1 position. We're all in the draft chain of Charlie, who's weaving back and forth, trying to get everyone outside of it. I don't think it's working at all at this point. I think he's too close to do that. But here's James Husky up the inside of Ryan Winfeld. 5, but going into turn 6, Ryan is slightly ahead. Also watching the time of Eric Hives behind Michael Hawkins. Looks like he's gaining and gaining on him. We'll see what happens down the straight, but if you look on the top left, James Husky now about to cut past Mike Ballion. Ryan Winfeld got around Charlie Pullier for now. Ryan holds it on the outside. Here is Eric Hives and Michael Hawkins. Eric Hives managing to get by Michael Hawkins on the draft. Now has the tough job of holding it. Michael Hawkins had the inside line, but now they're doing the old switcheroo. He's going to wait. Eric Hives is going to play this smart, no need to rush now. We still got over 10 minutes of racing. So Mike Valiant's ahead of James Husky. Let's check that out. Okay, so this was going into turn 8. Mike just gets a crazy run. He's able to get by him. So now we have Eric Hives and Jeremy Smith. Wait, did Michael get past? Oh, he did. Of course, as I looked away for a hot second. So Michael Hawkins got past Eric Hives. Okay, so that was going down the straight. That was it earlier. I probably did show it. I can't remember. There's too much happening. So here's the top 4 going down the straight. I mean, look at all those changes. I can't keep up. Everything's happening. Oh, James Husky in the pit. Looks like he just had a crash. Let's check that out. Oh my goodness. So that was at the end of the straight. See if I can see it here maybe. Oh, it just gets into Ryan a little bit. Ryan looked like he went a little bit wide there. Let's see where that was. Is it here? Was Ryan up the inside? Yeah, James is right there. Ryan pushed his car a little bit too hard there on the going into. Oh my god, I can't talk. Going into James Husky. You saw it. I saw it. There's my water. That is unfortunate. Nothing James can do there. Ryan Springer going off track. Let's check that out. Ah, just put a tire right in the grass. Ah, it's too bad. So Charlie Pullier and Mike Valiant for P1. We have Jeremy Smith, Eric Hives, and Michael Hawkins right behind him. Keeping an eye on Charlie Pullier and Mike Valiant in front. Then 2/10. There's Charlie gaining and gaining. He just lost it. Mike Valiant setting the fastest lap, 1:45.9. Charlie's going to get a good run here, but again, no one in front of either of them. So I'm going to assume they're going to be side by side down this entire straight. Looks like Jordan Wheatman passed Ryan Winfeld, P3. I don't want to go away from this either. So Mike Ballion holding that inside line. He's now on the outside. So Charlie gets around him. He's able to hold it for now. He's got to try to build a big gap, or else Mike's just going to get him on the next straight. Oh, looks like James had another incident. I got a second. Let's do it. Just loses the rear end, unfortunately. There's the times. Mike Ballion a little bit slower, 146.6, and Charlie Pullier was able to do a 146.2. They were battling, so I get it. I was able to get around. But now, reverse the rolls. Who wants to keep it on the inside? Going into turn 6. By 6, I mean turn 5. So Michael Hawkins still ahead. Jeremy Smith was able to get by Eric Hives for P6. Jeremy Smith has the inside line, gets ahead of Michael Hawkins. Let's see if he can hold this throughout the boot. I showed this, but here's the pass Mike did on Charlie. So this was early, and look at the run he has. But it'll slow down by the end, and he was able to keep that run on Charlie Pullier. Yep. For P1. So here they go again. Down the main stretch. It's like every lap is just flip-flopping. What you want to try to do, I think, is the white flag lap, you want to be the second place car, because if you can get by down this main straight, you're going to be golden for the rest of the lap. If you're able to get a big lead through turns like 6 through 8. So, out of this group, Jeremy Smith is still leading, followed by Michael Hawkins, Eric Hives. Now Boston Els is in the mix. Ooh, someone hit the wall. That was Eric Hives. Michael Hawkins down the inside of Jeremy Smith. And Charlie Pullier and Mike Ballion again battling into turn 1. Just want to show that real quick. Back to the action. Alright, this will be interesting. Boston Ellis has caught up a couple seconds anyway. So you can see he's about 6/10 quicker. So he's slowly catching up. 1.7 though, going after turn 1. Not sure if he'll have the draft going down the straight. I don't think so. I think it's slightly too far. But if these 4 keep battling, then he's going to catch right back up. Smith around the outside, fantastic. Now has the inside line, but he's going to swap to the outside, hopefully get a better run, keep that momentum going into the main part of the boot after turn 7. Michael Hawkins is right behind him. Defend a little bit. I think he has to at this point. Still holding that middle line, taking the defensive line. But Michael Hawkins, he went a bit wide there. Has run. Now Jeremy Smith is going to have that draft, as will everybody else. There's the white flag, confirmation. This is it. Michael Hawkins leading this pack. But here's where it all goes down. I'm going to make a quick jump to the leaders. Here's Mike Ballion and Charlie Pullier still battling. I've been watching on the top left the whole time. They've been constantly swapping places. So now they're into the boot going toward turn number 7. But I cannot keep my eyes off this battle right now. Someone's around. Who was that? I believe. 2 people. Is that Boston Els and somebody else? Ryan Springer, maybe? Yep. So anyway, here's the main battle. We have Charlie Pullier coming for P1, followed by Mike Ballion very closely. I mean, that was absolutely insane, and Jordan Wheatman right behind them for P3. So here's P4 Ryan Winfeld. So here is the crazy battle we've been watching as well. To loop back to it. So Michael Hawkins ahead of Jeremy Smith and Eric Hives. Jeremy Smith and Eric Hives are still battling going to the final corner, but I believe Jeremy Smith is going to hold it. He has built himself a decent gap. Wow, what a crazy battle between all of them. Fantastic driving. Here's Kyle McBride for P8. Boston Els making his way around for P9. But I want to see what happens here. So here's Ryan Springer. Gets taken out by... Well, he was a victim of somebody crashing in front of him. I don't even know who that was. That was Boston Els spinning. Same thing. It's unfortunate. Uh-oh. There it is. That's not right either. That is 100%. That was Heat 2. All right. So here's the results for Heat 3, aka the feature. Charlie Poulier takes the win, followed by Mike Ballion and Jordan Wheatman. Crazy battles every single heat. Fantastic racing, especially by Michael Hawkins and Ryan Springer. But also the battle with Jeremy Smith, Michael Hawkins, and Eric Hives was absolutely insane. But as always, that is it for week 8. Next week, I believe we're at the Spa racetrack, Circuit de Spa, where more crazy good racing is approaching. Could be raining too. Every race there seems to rain. So again, more fantastic racing by the group. But as always, thanks for joining. See you next week, everybody.